So Porcfest, the Porcupine Freedom Festival. Porcfest is spelled with a C, not a K. And it's held up in the mountains of New Hampshire. And it celebrates the freedom movement. It celebrates the Free State Project. It celebrates the people who have already been here. And it attracts people who are kind of curious about, is freedom possible? Is liberty possible? What would liberty look like? And so we set up basically a week of simulation of liberty in your lifetime. And we bring together all the libertarians of all different types. And you have different enclaves and different groupings and different types of activities, and everybody gets along. We also have a women's village that's cropping up, and I'm very excited about. 2 Porcfests ago, I was around the campfire, and I was like looking at all the strange people. There were people wearing bow ties. There were people wearing jackets and ties. There were people wearing practically nothing at all, a loincloth or something. There were people who obviously were doing some sort of hallucinating, and they were like going like this. And there were other people who were talking about passing this bill and were really kind of excited. And there were people who were, smoking some cigars and talking philosophy. And you got 1,000 people here, just all different types, all different stripes. And the only unifying characteristic of all these people is that none of them believe in initiating violence against the body of one another. So it was actually one of the most peaceful moments I've ever experienced.
Yeah. What should a person expect when they pull up the Porcfest?
Well, this year is going to be very different. I'm actually in charge of it this year. I made it a task of mine to go out and find all the people who are doing like really cool things, crypto and diffusing crypto throughout a community. It might be agorism, making products and selling it. It might be kind of politics. It might be starting up businesses that are, trying to undermine government. The intimacy, the learning, learning real people doing real work for liberty and creating real liberty in their small communities.
Right.
And so, sure, the national conferences are fantastic, but it doesn't tell you how you can actually create liberty in your life. And that's what the Free State is about. It's I talked about, a lot of these conferences are more, let's talk about liberty. Whereas Porcfest is more about let's experience and try out liberty and see what that's like. So it's fantastic. And then Tuesday night we have a bunch of icebreakers and kind of easy type of things. Wednesday night though, by Wednesday we're really cooking with gas. We got the Soho Forum going.
Cool.
And then we're going to have band music at night around the bonfire and things like that.
Very
and
nice.
All different types. All the lounges will be open. I'm pretty sure, and there's going to be activity in all the different hubs throughout. And then Thursday night is our comedy night. We have Dave Smith and Robbie the Fire, and we have another comedian not yet announced who will also be there. But different because it's liberty comedy for libertarians. Like lose snot out your nose, funny comedy. Friday night's really kind of our let your hair out and just go. So we have kind of a rave put on by 2 sweethearts, and they have this gigantic dome that they put up there, and there's going to be a whole bunch of things happening in their little hub. But they put on a rave that's you have to pay to enter using crypto. So they're really into crypto, and they actually have apps that support crypto, and so
that's cool.
So it's kind of like this kind of cross promotion type. So Porcfest, the tickets are probably, by the time people hear this, they're going to be $50. Eventually they will be $100. So pick them up now. You can camp at the campground for dirt cheap, especially if you camp with other people. And there's hotels, so someone old and in the way like myself, I sleep in like a hotel. Not now because I have to be there. So if you're hearing this now, scoop those tickets up.